Hello, beautiful human. How are you today? Today we're going to talk about something very good. I love this subject. Okay, it is when you don't fit in and when you're bored out of your mind, even though you're in your 30s, late 30s, early 40s, late 40s, whatever. I know a lot about this because this is very close to my heart. I struggled with this for many, many years and I still do sometimes. So I have a lot to tell you. And I hope I can help you and you get out of this video with like 1,000 ideas and 1,000 new things in your mind. The first thing is that I learned two basic concepts that I didn't know before, but when I learned, it really helped my journey. The first one is that if you don't fit in this world, is because you were born to create a new one. So people who don't fit in, they're usually very creative people who were born with the ability to create things that still don't exist in the world. So they are like the future trailblazers. They are the people who think out of the box. And the other thing that I learned is that when your soul shines a lot and you're bored out of your mind, it's because your soul is so bright that the matrix, society, this pattern that they try to shove us in cannot tame you. You cannot be tamed. So the matrix cannot shove you in a tiny little box. It cannot control you and manipulate you. So that's why you're bored, because you have so much more inside that the outside does not match how bright you are inside. This is the first thing. So if you're thinking like, if you're feeling like you're isolated and misplaced and lonely and all the good stuff, it just means that you haven't fully embraced your superpowers. You haven't fully embraced your soul mission, which, by the way, we will have a session about that in my website very soon. I'm going to let you know because you're going to freaking love it. It's going to blow you out of your freaking mind. But going back, you just need to do a few adjustments, so that you can balance your life inside and your life outside, because they have to be a match. And if they aren't, you're gonna feel like you're being suffocated, or you're gonna feel like you're bored out of your mind. I have felt both of them in different moments of my life. If you feel like, oh, they just don't get it, it's because they really don't. You're hanging with the wrong crowd. They don't get it because the vision was given to you, not to them. So you have to find people who have received visions that are as big as you, and not only that have received the vision, that are running and chasing the vision, that are running after their dreams and chasing their dreams like crazy, so that you are shooting for the stars with a group of like-minded people. Because otherwise, for example, suppose you dream of being an astronaut. You get home and you say to your parents, oh, I feel like being an astronaut. Most parents will do what? Are you crazy? You should be searching for a job in an office. No, you shouldn't be doing that, because you have to search for security. You have to chase security in life. No, but astronaut, it's gonna take you 15 years if you can get there. No way. Why? Not because they don't believe in you, because they don't believe in themselves, because they haven't received the vision, or they received it and they shoved it down and were like, oh, this is a piece of crap. You don't have to be like them. They are not doing it on purpose. But you also don't have to stick with it. You know what I mean? You can chase your dreams and do better and just like go for it and do your thing. You can do that. So when you're feeling like they just don't get it, it's because they really don't. You're hanging with the wrong crowd. So what do you do when this happens? You search for a better crowd. You start to hang in places where people talk about things that are elevated, people that, challenge your brain, challenge your mind, and make you be better and think about things that you haven't thought before. Think about big institutions, communities, people who talk about the things that you want to talk about. Who do you go for when you want to talk about this kind of astronaut stuff or your dream stuff? Go for these people. They are not big enough for you. Just go for it. They will love to hear from you. Second one, when you say, oh, I could do more and better than this, why aren't you? If you know that you could do better, why aren't you doing better? Just go for it, Just don't, I think people get too stuck in their minds, and they don't go for it. But the vision was given to you for a reason, and you're bored out of your mind because you're doing very little with what God gave you, you know. I believe in the universe, God, Buddha, Jah, call it what you want, Allah, it's all the same thing. It's all the same energy manifested in different ways, called different names, but it's all the same thing, you know. You're a part of it and it is a part of you. I am that I am. You know what I mean? So when you say I'm bored out of my mind, what this means is that you are trying to diminish yourself to fit in a very tiny place when actually your soul is very grand and wants to expand. So you're doing the opposite movement from what your soul wants you to do. So it's like a fight, a battle between your ego and your mind. So what you have to do is get out of the places that you're trying to fit in and find places that are big enough for your soul. Because here's the thing, material things can be transformed to become as big as your soul wants them to be. So for example, when I was going through my dark night of the soul, I was very happy with very tiny places where I was very, you know, cozy and like this, you know. And after the dark night, these places became claustrophobic, you know. I wanted big houses and big mansions and places where there were no walls and places where there were no limits. You know, I wanted to expand and expand, and this is the phase I'm at right now. So outside matches the inside energetically. So instead of trying to fit into something tiny and be okay with the things that you have now, understand that you're feeling bored because you're being called to do something greater, something higher, to expand and become greater than you are right now. Okay? This is the first thing. Okay, these are very, very cool tips that really helped me a lot. The first thing is that you have to find places that are bigger than you are right now. So for example, you don't want to be the most intelligent person in the room. You want to find places where people challenge you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, where people want to do great things and go for it, and people are fighting for their dreams. You want to get out of places where people gossip all the time and talk about each other in damaging ways. You want to find people, like rooms where people have dreams that are as big or bigger than yours, you know, because you have to be exposed to something bigger so that you feel comfortable in your dream, you know, because when you're going around with very small-minded people and you have a huge dream, you feel scared of the dream. You're like, oh no, it's too big, it's too big. When you go around with people that are big dreamers and they dream with something even greater than what you do, then your dream becomes very small and you're like, oh, it's so easy to get there, and you just follow the steps and you see how they do things and you learn and you find mentors and things, you know, align because you're in rooms that are a match to your dream, energetically speaking. So search for rooms where you're not the smartest, your dream is not the biggest, people don't tease you because of your dream and diminish the things that you think and say, and most of all, where your dreams, talents, mental capacity are challenged on a daily basis. And there's something very, very important that I have to share with you. When people come to you in these new places, make sure that they come with possibilities, because the one thing is for people to criticize you, come to you and say like, oh, this is never gonna work, oh, this is not gonna be okay, oh, you're never gonna get it. Another very different thing is to come and say, listen, try to point to another direction. See, if you talk to that guy instead of this guy, maybe you will get a bigger audience. If you talk to that guy, A, B, and C, he's gonna give you X, Y, and Z, and you're gonna become bigger than you imagine. Talk with that person that is very good with filming, with video making, with whatever. Talk to that person, she's very good as a makeup artist. You can ask her for help for your course or whatever. If you want to be an astronaut, I know an astronaut. You know, you want people to give you tips on how to get there faster, not to explain to you all the ways that is not going to work out for you. So today I'm going to leave you with that. A huge kiss, much love, the Cape Witch.